So now we have these positions of A and B, but we want to know what is the position of A relative to B. So that is the question we want to ask. So what is the position of A relative to B? So if we have some GPS system, if we have a GPS system and we know from our house, if the origin is our house, where we are from our house. So this is one person and they are here in this position at the north and this east and north, and there's another person B and that person is this position, but we want to know where they are with respect to each other. So they want to know where they are in the car compared to the other person, how close they are or how far they are to each other. So that is what is the position of A relative to position B. So in order to do that, if you use geometry to figure out what is this going to be, A relative to B, meaning are we looking for AB or are we looking for BA? So that depends on the question. So suppose we're looking for AB. So what does that mean? So if you take a look at this geometrically, basically what you have to do is you have to do the difference of x and the difference of y. So if you have OA, let me show this geometrically. This is x1, y1, and this is OB. This is x2, y2. So A relative to B basically means OA minus OB, and if you subtract the two, so what you're going to get is you're going to get x1 y1 minus x2 y2, and eventually you're going to get a value of x1 minus x2 and y1 minus y2. So that means A relative to B means OA minus OB. So this is the meaning of relative position. Now this OA minus OB is written with a different notation. It's written with BA. So A relative to B is written as BA because what happens, A is first. That means that is the terminal, that is the initial point. That is the terminal point. And B is the initial point. So we always write terminal point first minus initial point. So that's how we write it. So in this particular question, in this diagram, we have A going towards B. So AB, that means B relative to A. So OB minus OA. So it reads as, so what is the position of B relative to A? So that's what we want to know. So B relative to A means OB minus OA, and it is written as AB because we always write the initial point first. This is the initial point, and we always write the terminal point at the end. Terminal point. So we always write this is first the initial point and this is the terminal point. But when we write relative to that, this relative means a subtract. So always remember this trick. So whenever we want to find the position of A relative to B, it actually means OA minus OB. And when we want to find B relative to A, that means OB minus OA. But the convention of writing that is the opposite. Because if we have initial point at A and it is pointing towards the terminal point B, we will always write this is the position of B relative to A, because wherever it is pointing, that's the way we say it. So in other words, you can say that AB is going to be OB minus OA, or in other words, B minus A, B generally representing the position vector of OB, position vector, and A representing position vector of A. So this is going to be AB is basically B minus A. So the vector AB, we call it B relative to A.